Hello and welcome to the award-winning Waterman Wellness, your pathway to whole person health, body, mind, and spirit. I'm your host, Kristen Ludicky. We have plenty of healthful information featuring local experts, including it's not uncommon for women to experience pelvic pain. A Taveri specialist explains the possible causes and treatments. It's still summertime, but a good idea to make sure your child's start to the new school year goes smoothly. Stay tuned for advice from a local pediatrician. And this Mount Dora man says he ignored the symptoms of a heart attack. Now he's grateful for the Lake County medical team that put him on the road to recovery. First, a void in patient care will soon be filled here in Lake County. When Advent Health Waterman celebrated the opening of its new 4-story tower, CEO Abel Beery shared news of a new service that will be housed there.
At the end of the year, we will have a 12-bed unit dedicated for inpatient rehab, a brand new service in our community. And so, very excited to announce that. It'll be a new service to bring locally. So one of the things we strive to do at Waterman is to ensure that we have developed some of these core services that will allow for our community to utilize locally, not have to travel out quite a bit for some of these services. Inpatient rehab happens to be one of them that we didn't have, and it's very burdensome on family members. This requires an extended stay by the patient, and if they are either in Orlando or Ocala, which are the closest facilities, that's extensive travel that occurs. And so we are able to bring a service right here, be able to provide world-class service while also meeting the needs of the community and their family members and reducing inconvenience.
The Advent Health Waterman inpatient unit will be located on the 3rd floor of the new tower. The state-of-the-art expanded emergency department and center for women and children are already open in the new tower. Advent Health Waterman's commitment to offering quality patient care is receiving national recognition. Once again, the hospital has received an A for patient safety from the Leapfrog Group, a nonprofit organization that uses 28 measures of safety data to grade thousands of U.S. hospitals. Learn more about the hospital's commitment to patient safety and its new services by visiting adventhealthwaterman.com. Next, we turn our focus to the guys and how local specialists use advanced technology to treat a dangerous but treatable type of cancer. Detection of prostate cancer most often starts with a visit to a general practitioner.
For most patients undergoing prostate cancer screening, it's a simple blood test as well as an exam. Today, with the advent of PSA, we have the opportunity to detect prostate cancer early.
I went for a simple blood test that shows the PSA, and my PSA was 65.4, which it's not supposed to be above 4. I wasn't even aware what the PSA test was, and it was just part of a general checkup that I did. And it had been a couple years since I did a checkup, and it was fine. So it had gone from nothing to the 65 over a couple of years.
Stephen Burnett of Taveri's went to Advent Health Waterman urologist Jason Gerbach.
He felt that it was very aggressive and that we needed to follow up with the biopsy. Quickly followed up by MRIs and CAT scans. And the good news was that it had not metastated to any other organs other than the prostate.
Dr. Gerbach referred Burnett to Advent Health Waterman's radiation oncologist, Anuj Jain.
His big plan always was to do the first 5 weeks of radiation therapy followed by the brachytherapy. And the brachytherapy is a surgical effort of inserting radioactive seeds for just a few hours. That plan worked out really well.
The external radiation can deliver a dose to a broader area, including lymph nodes or seminal vesicles, whereas the high-dose rate brachytherapy gives an extra dose specifically to the prostate gland. High-dose rate brachytherapy has the advantage of being a temporary implant, so there's no permanent seeds implanted in the patient. With the temporary implants, we can modify where the radiation is given off and have tighter control over the dose, so there's less dose to the bladder, the rectum, and other sensitive structures in the pelvis.
So the first follow-up after the brachytherapy was another blood test, and that blood test showed the PSA as non-detectable.
Burnett says he chose Advent Health Waterman for his treatment after consulting with cancer institutes in Orlando, Gainesville, and even Jacksonville.
Dr. Jane really came across as the most personable as to these are the pluses and the minuses of the alternatives. I mean, he definitely had a plan in mind, and that's the plan we followed. I can't imagine any place being any better. This was definitely convenient.
Find out more about the advanced cancer treatment options available locally by visiting adventhealthcancerwaterman.com. Here's an important statistic. 1 in every 4 deaths is related to heart disease. In many cases, experts say these deaths are preventable if patients would just pay attention to the symptoms.
I started having a pain in my left shoulder. So I sat in the car for 5 or 10 minutes, pain went away. I thought it was a cramp. I didn't relate it to a heart issue. The next day after that, my breathing became more and more challenging.
James Gibby of Mount Dora went to the Advent Health Waterman emergency room.
Immediately, Dr. Allen took over. They did a catheterization, looked at the back of my heart. They found 3 arteries that were blocked, 100% and 170%.
Dr. Allen performed heart bypass surgery on Mr. Gibby. He spent 10 days recovering at the hospital.
I was absolutely impressed with the quality of the care. I was up and walking as quickly as they could get me moving. I would get up and get in the chair so that I was vertical and I was lucid and I was participating in my own care. My wife would show up at 9:30 in the morning and she stayed with me until almost 9 o'clock at night. So the burden on her was tremendous, but having her there was invaluable.
Patients and families don't like and really shouldn't be forced to travel great distances for therapies and technologies that are very acquirable, very safe and feasible at local hospitals. Patients have better compliance, families have better compliance and satisfaction for that. So we always try to go to the closest hospital when we have the worst problem.
Learn more about the extensive cardiac treatments available locally by visiting this website. Have you ever found the partner to help keep you on the road to good health? An Advent Health specialist says a primary care doctor that you visit regularly may help avoid problems later in life.
We check, we assess what kind of problems are you having, how frequency are you having, what's the intensity, is this something that we need to be worried about or is this something that we can monitor? Blood work is also important, check for cholesterol levels. Is this related to the symptoms that you're having right now? Remember, medical care should always be individualized. So tell me about you and then we'll tailor what we need to do based on what you're telling me. Annual exams are very important for different reasons. For people, for example, that have chronic medical problems, you want to go to the doctor and check the status. Where are we at? If you have high blood pressure, if you have diabetes, are we under control or have we fallen off the wagon? In that sense, the more medical problems you have that are chronic, the more important it is for you to go and check those out. We're a team. I'm here to make recommendations based on your health status. I'm here to educate you. And that's my job. I'll give you the medicines based on what you need, if you need medications. The other part, it's you. That's why we're a team, because you have to work on your diet. If you are taking medicines, you need to take your medicines as I recommend that you do, because this is not one way. We both have to work on it in order to be successful.
You can visit adventhealthwaterman.com to find health partners for you and your loved ones. It's time to take a short break, but we'll have plenty more when Waterman Wellness continues. How do you change your outlook when there's so much negativity? You'll hear from a Mount Dora man whose technique hits the right note. Plus, the kids may be enjoying summer right now, but you might want to plan for the new school year. Our expert has important advice. And a local OBGYN explains why women should not live with pelvic pain. Coming up, you'll learn some causes and treatments. Check out Waterman Wellness magazine for even more health and wellness information. You can arrange for home delivery of the magazine by visiting watermanwellness.com. Plus, you'll find a listing of the specialists featured in this episode. Don't go away. Waterman Wellness will return shortly. You or your loved ones might be interested in these community educational courses.
Whole grains are an untraditional shield against rheumatoid arthritis and asthma. Protect yourself from these inflammatory disorders by getting at least 7 servings of grains weekly.
Welcome back to the award-winning Waterman Wellness, your pathway to whole person health, body, mind, and spirit. I'm Kristen Luedeke. We turn to women's health and a common condition that has various causes, pelvic pain.
There are many different pelvic conditions that can lead to pain. For example, fibroids. Fibroids are smooth muscle tumors or benign tumors that grow within the wall of the uterus and can be associated with significant pain or heavy bleeding during your menstrual cycles. There are many different ways to treat fibroids. It depends on where they're located and the size. For some women, hormonal management can control a lot of the symptoms. Some women may need surgery if they're still in reproductive age and still want to conceive, or if they're, done with reproduction, those women may opt for hysterectomy. And a hysterectomy will remove the entire uterus. Many times, depending on where a woman is in her menstrual cycle, cysts form, and there's different physiologic reasons for different cysts. Sometimes the cysts do not resolve or do not go away on their own, and the cysts can persist. And in those instances, cysts can grow extremely large. They can burst and rupture and cause a lot of pelvic discomfort and pain. Typically, those women experience maybe sharp shooting pains that are all of a sudden. Sometimes it's a gradual pain that's continuous over the month. Usually we can identify those with a pelvic exam as well as an ultrasound to determine if they have an enlarged ovary or pain associated with their ovaries. Sometimes it can be treated with medical management. A lot of times we use birth control pills to control the formation of those cysts or suppress the cysts from forming. In other instances, we do have to do surgery to remove the cyst depending on the size. So that's a pretty good reason to come in and see your OBGYN.
If you are experiencing pelvic pain, visit the website on your screen to find a gynecologist who can help you. Next, we turn our focus to children and making sure they're ready to start the school year. We ask a local pediatrician for important advice for families.
The biggest thing to understand, it is a transition. We've gone from several months of unstructured activities during the day to an expectation of having a very structured day in school. Preparation is the key. So several weeks before that first day of school, start talking about your child, about their new school or new teacher.
Dr. Diaz says another potential impact on student success is sleep.
So often sleeping patterns during the summer become a little bit more chaotic, maybe a little bit less structured, maybe going to bed later at night, sleeping in during the morning, and then all of a sudden we have to get up earlier in the morning to go to school. So starting again several weeks before, start going to bed just like you would during a school night, so you can help prepare your body for that new pattern. Kids definitely need at least 8 to 10 hours of sleep for most children. Younger kids need more. And that's extremely important for them to be able to be alert and learn and function appropriately during the school day. If your child tends to be more anxious about transition, you may need to work a little bit more closely with them. So helping kids prepare for what it's going to be like.
Dr. Diaz also encourages parents to include your children in school preparations.
Make a list of what the school has recommended for school supplies, getting the child involved. All right, here's the list, let's go find. So make it fun, make it enjoyable. Kids often enjoy picking up that new set of clothes or new pair of shoes. So make it fun, don't make it stressful.
Visit the website on your screen to find a pediatrician to help you and your children be healthy for school. How does your outlook help you feel whole? Next, Advent Health Waterman Mission Development Director Candace Huber shares how some apply the Creation Health principles to help them feel whole.
When we talk about creation health, it is one of the ways in which the Advent Health System has defined whole person living. Choice, rest, environment, activity, trust in God, interpersonal relationships, outlook, and nutrition, all of these help us to understand whole person living physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. Joshua Champion has a unique approach to how he handles challenges throughout the day to boost his outlook and to bring him into an enjoyable place. You will find his approach unique and music to your ears.
Time measured out my days, life carried me along, in my soul I yearn.
When I'm experiencing negativity, I would say it's a draining experience. I tend to thrive on energy and positivity and being happy. So when I experience negativity, it pulls your spirit and soul down, and it means I have to rejuvenate. I would say for me, it definitely comes with the joy of music. And singing. I love singing. I've been doing it since I was a kid, and I think music really helps to rejuvenate the soul. It brings joy not only to me, but to others. I got an email from a previous coworker, and she said in the email, "Joshua, I heard someone humming or a song, and for a moment, for a split second, I thought it was you." And she said that it brought joy to her life and to her experience that morning. Though she was a little let down to know that it really wasn't me, she was able to relay some joy that I had imparted on her. I guess I didn't realize that I would, as she said, regularly hum or sing a song down the hall as we were at work. Well, music changes the way I think, really, when I focus on the lyrics. You have to step back and consider, so what do these words really mean? What are they saying to me, and how can I apply them really to my life? And so I do that in every case.
Wandering down some pointless road to nowhere.
If I can get into music, get into a deep space where I can experience that worship, it really does make me feel whole from the inside out as I reflect on the words or the medleys. It's a great experience that I think definitely makes you feel whole. My name is Joshua Champion, and music gives me a positive outlook, so I feel whole.
Were it not for grace.
Want to learn more about how you can feel whole? Visit AdventHealthWaterman.com. We hope you've enjoyed this episode of Waterman Wellness, your pathway to whole person health, body, mind, and spirit. Be sure to watch for our next episode right here on Lake Sumter TV. To learn more about the experts featured in this program, please visit WatermanWellness.com. Until next time, I'm Kristen Ludicky for the award-winning Waterman Wellness.